How about kind of James was saying, maybe making sure guys don't give up on plays, maybe don't get lazy, and still technique and focus on improving each week?
Yeah, I mean, every week is the same as far as playing your identity, making sure we play fast, physical, and aggressive. You always want to work to stop the run, find ways to affect the quarterback. I mean, it's going to be like that every week. Now, how you do it's always different, but really the focus is always going to be the same, and just continue to work and prepare. This time of year, guys are going to be kind of beat up, so it's important that they prepare, and you might take a rep or two, off a guy, tweak your schedule a little bit. So we're still going to work to prepare the way we need to, but you may tweak some things moving forward.
What do you think of the running back days for NC State?
I think they're good players. I mean, they're explosive. They're downhill guys. They're going to run the ball. Their offensive line works well together in the runs that they run. They're multiple in the kind of runs they run. They got multiple formations to dress up the runs that they have. So I think they're good at what they do, and we understand we got a challenge, so we're going to have to be ready to play physical and find ways to control the line of scrimmage.
A lot of the same guys as last year, just a year older. How are they different in any way than they were last year?
Well, they have a different coordinator, but at the end of the day, structurally they still have same of the assistants, O-line coach, and things like that. But for the most part, they're the same guys, but I think they work well together. Quarterback makes him a good player. I mean, quarterback's, I think, a really good player in what he does, so that adds a dimension to what they do. They got a good scheme. They understand it. They want to run it, and then if you work to take that away, they're going to find ways to get the ball down the field or out in space. So, we're going to have to play.
What did you see on the film after last week? How did you think about the effort?
Good. I didn't have. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, if we give up 239 and 14 points the rest of the year, I'll be happy. So, the first drive wasn't the way we wanted it, but at the end of the day, our violations really got us in that. We did a good job of stopping the run on first down. If you go back and look, they were behind the sticks, and that's an important down. So if we can I think they ran the ball 39 times for under like 2.8 yards a carry. So I mean, if we hold them people to numbers like that, and then work to get off the field on a couple third downs, that we'll be fine. So we just got to keep plugging along.
What about the improvement of Drew and what he's done up front?
Yeah, Drew's a good player. He's an explosive. He's a guy that can make things happen in there with his vertical push up the field. So really pleased with the way he's progressed and played, and certainly looking for him to continue to play that way and give us some production inside and be stout against the run.
So what about the point in the season last year where Devontae really kind of took off and started kind of dominating games? Do you envision some of those sort of breakout games?
I think that he's, when you play the position he plays, you're going to be close. For example, there's a couple plays in the Duke game where he could enter the game with 2 sacks, and he doesn't, so he doesn't finish. He's just got to keep playing and doing the things that we ask him to do, and his plays will come. Not untypical to other guys that I've had at that position. The plays will come if you continue to give the effort and play the defense and to do the things that we ask you to do. The plays will end up coming, so he's just got to continue to play.
The depth that you all develop, is it pretty much developed the way that you thought it would?
For the most part, I think that we've done a pretty good job of moving guys around to be multiple in our structure to allow us to get the best players on the field relative to where we need them to play. You're always going to be a work in progress on that because things happen during the course of the year that you got to tweak things. But our guys have been focused. Our guys have bought in. I think it helps guys learn the overall defense when you do that because they understand what the people around them are doing. So we'll continue to develop and try to find ways to get our best guys on the field moving forward.
I think, NC State has done a good job over the past couple years at getting better. When you really look at the guys they have this year, it's pretty much the same guys we've played against the past 2 years. So I think it's just they've come together, got a real good team. And I mean, as you see last week, what they did, they're not a team to be messed with. They got talent and they got good coaching. So I mean, this week we just focused on really being physical, setting edges, and really just playing to our techniques.
How frustrating was last week when you can't rush the passer because they weren't allowing you guys to kind of get into your rhythm?
Right. I mean, it was frustrating, but it's just one of those things where I mean, you kind of, as the season goes on, if you rush well early in the season, teams are going to, start to play off that. So it's just one of those things where you got to keep on rushing because you never know which play they're going to actually decide to take a shot downfield. So if you take a play off, that might be the play you missed.
James, from the times you've gone against him in practice, how tough is Jeremy Smith to bring down?
Oh, you could tell from just looking at him, he's a pretty big dude. But not only that, he's very strong in the weight room. He's got a good base, good lower body, and even before the big run, but he's always had an ability to drag a couple guys or break some tackles. So he's always been a pretty big back for us.
How are you guys feeling like as a defense right now? Obviously the offense, I think, #1 in the country, but you guys are like number 11 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ranked really high as well.
I think we're feeling pretty good. It's just like kind of the theme of the season has been hold the rope. So like you said, we got a #1 offense. A top-rated defense. That's what it's about. It's about us feeding them the ball. Not letting nobody score. So the margin of score is way better. So it's just about us playing off of each other. That's what we like to do.
Was there any specific focus, or has there been this week on improvement? What do you feel like as a defense you need to improve?
I don't know if it's so much as improving as much as reminding. Of course we got to improve every week, but I feel like at this point in the season, maybe it's about telling guys to not get lazy in their technique and just coaching to still do the things we were doing at the beginning of the season. Because it's a long season, your techniques tend to get lazy and stuff like that. So just coaching that up and keeping that up the ball.
Even if he's maybe not gotten sacks or whatever the last few weeks, what's maybe Devontae doing that helps you out, or ways that he's affecting the game in your opinion?
I think Devontae plays real relentless. When you turn on film, even when the play is coming to my side, you'll see him on the backside straining his gut to try to get in on the play. With him being such a big name and all the stuff around him at the beginning of the season, it's natural for teams to focus on him more as far as blocking schemes and stuff. But it's like Coach Grantham tells us every week, just keep rushing, keep working your moves. The sacks will come.
Do you credit some of the success you've had for him being on the opposite side and the attention he's drawn?
I don't think I don't like to think oh, they've been blocking him more, so they've been leaving me open. I like to think of myself as an equal. But at the end of the day, you got two teams now know you got two pass rushers to account for, as opposed to before the season. I feel like a lot of teams might have thought only one.
Jared, did you see a penalty on that touchdown you ran back there?
No, I didn't see a penalty at all. No, I didn't see no penalty.
How was that? What's that like to think you broke one and then had a call back? It's got to be a deflating feeling, I would think.
Yeah, it is pretty deflating. To run that way and to see the yellow flag and the crowd get silent, but it's all good. Just got to get another one.
What's that mean to you? Obviously, that you were able to even, I guess it got called back, but essentially that you kind of followed up and were able to keep making plays and have long returns like you've been doing.
Well, it feels pretty good, but a lot of people ask me how do I do this and how do I do that, but it really starts with blocking, and like I said earlier in the year, we got the right people out there to do that, and I feel like they don't get enough credit, but I really want to give a special shout out to my blockers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pretty much just run. I make a few people miss, but really it starts right there with the blocking, and they're doing an excellent job.
Can you? On that one the other night, could you tell early on? Okay, because it looked like it was really open where you went. That the blocking was really good. Could you tell early on that one?
Oh yeah. Well, see, the first one, they was telling me it was there. I just got to trust it a little bit, and I was like, okay, trust y'all. Put my trust in them, and it definitely was there. It was like, you ever walk like through a grocery store like late at night, you'd be the only one in there. That's how it looked like, just the only one. It was just so easy.
When you get one called back, obviously you want one each time. Does it make the next one? This week does it make it even more? Okay, let's all try to get one together.
Yeah, once you get one call back, it's just like see what you did wrong, regroup and just come out there and do it again.
How much was that Florida State game kind of a breakout for you and me in terms of just a lot of things, just being around the ball and being able to contribute on special teams?
It meant a lot. It was a real breaking point for me, like you said. Just showing people what I can do, and with the right scheme and right mindset, I can go out there and do anything. So.
I think we got a chance to talk to you since the Clemson game. I mean, obviously you guys didn't end up winning in the end, but what confidence did you gain from some of those big plays that you had there?
Oh, what, can you say again? I'm sorry.
Just the Clemson game. What confidence did you gain from some of the big plays you had there in the turnovers?
Oh, well, it's pretty good plays, but, overall, we wanted that win, so, I don't, right now, it don't mean too much, but it means something to me personally, but, overall, it's plays. We didn't win, that was the ultimate goal, so.
What's it been like for the defense, I guess, that the offense obviously has gotten a lot of attention, but you guys are obviously a really highly ranked defense as well. How are you all feeling, I guess, just as a group at this point, confidence-wise?
We're feeling good, on the whole due to 14 points, and, that was really, how can I say this? That was really good for us, you just got to start off fast. Beginning of the game, we got to start real fast. We got to keep it on them. Just like we do in the third and fourth quarter, we got to do that the whole game.
You're facing a team that's only allowed 2 punt returns all year. I mean, granted, I don't think you probably have seen those numbers, but when you hear something like that and you think 2 punt returns, does that kind of surprise you at this point? For 6 yards, too.
Oh, not really. We're not. I like to think we're not like other teams. So I just think it was a new week, new opportunity for us. That's all.
NC State really pushed Clemson last week. Were you guys maybe rooting for NC State there for a little while?
I tell you, we needed that field goal at the end. Oh man, yeah, I was rooting for NC State on that one.
Do you know many of these guys on this team?
Oh yeah, I know a few of them. A few of them from Charlotte, my hometown.
Who are some of the guys you know?
I know Matt Stevens. I know both the cornerbacks, Jack Tocho. I know safety, Jarvis Moorhead. They're all good players. It feel good, playing against them. I feel like high school all over again.
Did you go to? Did any of those guys go to your high school at all? Anybody on their team?
No, I played against them a few times.
You played against them? Was there any communication this week beforehand?
Yeah, it's a lot of communicating this week, more than any other week. So it's fun. Nice little, talking back and forth, but it's gonna be a good one.
You were saying you were hoping Clemson was going to win. Do you guys? Is there a consensus among the guys whether you want them to lose or win out?
Oh no, I just know that. I just know that with State win, I'm pretty sure that'd be big. That'd be big for us. As far as reaching our ultimate goal. So, just kind of root for that field goal, but it's okay.
All right.